Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 22 updates and spoilers. What's up? Our house guests of the day are Autumn Christensen and Allie S. and her two twin babies, 7-year-old Sienna and Max S. You guys are wonderful. Sienna and Max, let your mommy watch all of the Big Brother podcasts that she wants. It's gonna be okay. No, seriously, thank you all so much for the support. We could not do this without you. We appreciate it so much. You're amazing. And if you guys want to be guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. And before we get going here, I also want to thank all of our super chatters from yesterday, because super chat is a great way to support our channel, and we also couldn't do this without you. So Sheena123, Jefferson Tucker, Lala Buffenmeyer, Traval K, Dawn MH302, and Jody Cortez, and is it Nakul Suresh? Thank you all so much. You guys are incredible. Thank you. And I see we already have a super chatter today. Jody Cortez, what's up? Thank you. You are a rock star. So let's get going. It's eviction night, baby, right? But first, I'm turning into Julie Chen Jr. When we left off yesterday, Christmas in Memphis, up on the block. Nicole did not use the power veto, so one of them will be leaving tonight. Nicole wants Memphis out, and Cody seems to be on board with that. It seems like he has been arguing all week that Memphis should be going, because Enzo has been saying, I want Christmas out. He's been saying, Christmas won't take me or you to the end, but Memphis will. But Cody is annoyed because he wanted Christmas to be off balance going into this next HOH competition. So he didn't want Christmas to know if she was going to be staying or not for sure. So Cody's annoyed because Enzo told Christmas that Cody wants to keep her. So now she knows, like, I got the votes. I'm going to be good. And she's been comfortable pretty much all week. So Christmas, well, that will come up later. So Christmas and Memphis are chatting in the lounge, and I mentioned to you guys yesterday, these two want to kind of like talk through each other's games a little bit, and try and figure out what the best path will be for whichever one of them sticks around, so that that person will have the best chance of winning. They really want to see each other do well. So yeah, they're advising each other on their games, and they're trying to figure out who would be the best person to go to the final two with. So Memphis says, all right, if I'm on the jury and Nicole makes it to the final two, I'm going to be like, wow, this is someone who's won before and she made it to the end again on an all-star season. He says, this is not even a Dan Ian situation like season 14 where she was on with like a bunch of newbies. No, like she was on with other all-stars, so it's more difficult. So he says, I think there's a possibility that Nicole could win if she makes it to the final two. And I have to agree, against the right person, Nicole could definitely win, especially if she could lock in another competition winner too. She would really have a chance. So Christmas says, okay, well, the counter argument would be that Nicole has had the committee protecting her all the way to the end. And she had a preset alliance with Cody that protected her even further. Excuse me. I have to say here, though, I'm not going to do counter arguments for all of Christmas's counter arguments because I'm just not petty like that. But I will say, didn't Christmas also have a planned agreement coming in with Tyler? Like, wasn't she planning on having a final four with Tyler, Josh, and Casey? But because those two weren't on, it was just her and Tyler. So didn't she also have a pre-arranged alliance? Whatever. So Christmas says Nicole didn't win shit all season. Not because she didn't have to, but because she couldn't. I mean, isn't that like a sign of a good player, though? Like, if you don't have to win all these competitions? I don't know. Different strokes for different folks. But Christmas says she only won something when the odds were more in her favor because there were like fewer people left. I know I said I wasn't going to counter every single argument here, but I just feel the need to point out, like, Christmas has also been in these competitions and she could have won them as well. So then Yeah, Christmas says, I won one competition out of every category. I went the distance for the committee. So then she says that she and Memphis really pushed to keep the committee together. There were people like every week who were trying to get squirrely, and we kept everybody in line. So then Memphis is like, okay, moving on. No, he was definitely agreeing with her. So then Memphis starts praising Cody's game. He says Cody was a huge member of the committee. He won 3 HOHs and a few POVs. His social game is good. He's likable to the jury. You know, he hasn't really like burned anyone hardcore yet. And Memphis says, I wouldn't be scared to go up against Cody in the final 2, but I wouldn't do it like if I didn't have to do it. I wouldn't choose to go to the end with Cody. You shouldn't be scared. I don't see Cody losing if he's in the final 2, right? I feel like Cody would win against anybody. So Christmas says, yeah, Cody would also be her last choice to go to the final 2 with. Christmas agrees. Cody has had great jury management, but she doesn't feel he's made any major moves. I will admit, like, he got out Keisha and Kevin, but then he did get out Tyler during his last HOH, so that's kind of a big deal. But Christmas says he didn't send Tyler home because Tyler was his target. What? She says that was after the committee already succeeded in making it to final 6 minus Danny. Tyler was just at the bottom of Cody's committee list. So she's basically trying to say he didn't like go after Tyler until it was basically just the committee and Enzo left. I mean, he still went after him. Tyler's still a big player. I don't know. But yeah, Christmas says, I took out someone who was actively targeting 4 out of 6 members of the alliance, but Bailey wanted to work with her. And I remember there was a conversation before with like Enzo, Nicole, and Cody where they were talking about what a mess Christmas's HOH week was, and her whole like untouchables excuse was ridiculous. And Nicole was saying that by taking out Bailey, like Bailey was somebody that wanted to work with Christmas. Like it was not a good move personally for Christmas. But of course, Christmas is saying like, I did that for the committee. I'm such a team player. So then Christmas says, I was able to come out of that week like clean, like nobody was coming after me after that. And I was able to dodge a lot more bullets being fired at me and make bigger moves than Cody because of my skills and abilities. Okay. She also says she was able to make bigger moves than Nicole while still playing a cleaner game than her. She says Nicole lied to Ian, Davon, David, and Christmas is saying that she did not do that. So I don't know. We'll see. So then Christmas says, you know what? Enzo, he would be good to sit next to because he hasn't won shit since week 3. So Memphis is like, I get what you're saying, but I feel like Enzo could be seen as a floater / coaster, but he hasn't been on the block this whole time, and no one has even talked about targeting him. That's not easy to pull off. Like, that's very impressive. So Christmas is like, well, if I was in the final 2 against him, I would push that he was a floater, and having better relationships with people doesn't mean that you're the better player. It's kind of important. It's a social game. You know, I mean, there's arguments both ways here for sure. So Memphis says to Christmas, if it's up to you to decide who you're going to go to the end with, don't overthink it. You know, just pick someone and start building your case against them and why you should win. P.S. Memphis thinks that he's staying still. I felt like this conversation, though, definitely... It felt like he was giving Christmas a lot of advice for her game. And I don't think she was doing a great job of talking like he was still going to be there. Like that should have been a huge tip off to him. But I don't know. That's just the sense that I was getting. But of course, I know that he's the target this week. So maybe I'm just taking it in like that. But that's what I felt watching that. So meanwhile, Enzo and Cody were chatting in the photo bedroom. And Cody says Christmas is going to get blown out if she sits next to Nicole in the final two. Yeah. I mean, they're suspecting that Christmas will want to go to the end with Nicole, which I could definitely see happening. I don't think Christmas beats anyone in the final two. Like, who would she beat? And I'm not saying that to be a jerk to Christmas. I'm just saying I don't see the jury rewarding her with the win. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, so Enzo and Cody agree they would not vote for Christmas to win, even if it was up against Nicole, who has already won. All right. So they feel like Memphis still thinks that he's saying, and they're not sure if they should tell him before or just blindside him. And Cody says, we can do whatever we decide. You know, we don't have to listen to Nicole about telling Memphis. Whoa. So Enzo says, Memphis never did anything to me. I'm going to tell him it's a wrap, yo. And Cody's like, all right, well, when are you going to tell him? And Cody says, honestly, I'd rather not tell him at all. Oh, okay. So Enzo is saying he doesn't understand how Memphis doesn't realize he's going. You know, things have been different between them this week now that Memphis is the target. And they were talking about how it's a similar situation with Tyler. You know, they're really close with him, but he had to go because he was the better gamer. But Tyler knew that he was in trouble. He knew that he was probably going because he could sense that things were different. But Memphis does not seem to be picking up on that. So then Cody and Enzo talk about going to the final three with Nicole. They're still saying they're good with it. And they say, like, if one of them wins the final HOH, they feel like they'll just easily cut Nicole and tell her, you've already won before. So we're going to go for it. Like, give one of us a chance. Do you feel like Cody would actually follow through on that, though? Because I still feel like he might take Nicole. Right? I don't know. So, yeah, it was a really slow day yesterday. Really slow day. There was a while where Memphis and Christmas were just deflating pool floaties so that they could pack them up in their bags. Anyway, later, Enzo and Nicole were chatting in the photo bedroom, and Enzo says, Memphis thinks he's safe. He says, I kind of feel bad about that. And Nicole says, I feel bad too. So Enzo says, yo, maybe we could tell him like 10 minutes before, yo. And Nicole says, yeah, you guys, you can do that if you want. I don't care. Like, you can tell Memphis that he's going. So then Enzo was practicing what he would possibly say to Memphis, which is ridiculous. Trust me, we can't stand Christmas, but we just can't keep you because you're a better player. That's it. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. So then there was speculation about what the next HOH competition could be. Enzo and Cody are just like waiting to figure out what it's going to be. I mean, Christmas is very excited about it too because she's ready to crush it. So I don't know what the next HOH is going to be. There's no telling. I have a bad feeling that we're not going to see who the winner is on tonight's episode. I feel like they've been doing that more and more where they kind of just like leave it in progress. And then we don't even know, like, even if you watch the live feeds, we don't even know who the winner is until hours and hours later because they haven't been bringing the feeds back until after the show is done airing on the West Coast. Yeah, a lot of people, yeah, I've heard maybe it could be What the Bleep. That's possible. So hopefully we would see that full competition on tonight's episode. It is about time for What the Bleep, so that's definitely possible. But yeah, Nicole says that Christmas still hasn't talked to Cody about this week's vote, which is just crazy. There's only 2 people voting, and she feels like she's got Enzo locked. She's heard that she's got Cody, so I guess she's just not gonna talk to him. I don't know. But yeah, Nicole says, Christmas told me that you told her that Cody's keeping her. And Cody was going to pretend that he wasn't because he wanted her to be unsure and like all shook up going into this HOH competition. I feel like Cody probably should have told Enzo that, because I don't know that he told him about this plan. I remember him talking to Nicole about it, but I don't know if he told Enzo. So that's, can you really be mad about that if you didn't talk about it? I mean, maybe they did, but I don't remember seeing that. So Nicole leaves to go make pasta, and Enzo's kind of like talking to himself / the cameras, and it seems like he can't remember if he actually said that to Christmas or not. So then a little later, Cody and Enzo are in the HOH room, and Enzo again is saying, I feel bad, man. We've got to tell Memphis, yo. And Nicole says, and he says, Nicole told me that Christmas told her that I told her that you're voting for her to stay. That's a lot. I'm sorry. But Enzo's like laughing when he says this. But like, he did do that. He told Christmas, hey, Cody wants you to stay. And that works for me because I want you to stay too. Like, it all works out. So Cody's like, why did you tell her that? And Enzo says, I didn't tell her that. I said that she needs to go talk to you if she didn't talk to you yet. Which he did say that as well. But it was in the context of, I'm telling you that Cody wants you to stay. But you can't act like you know about it. You need to go and talk to him so that, he doesn't know that you know, kind of thing. That's what happened. But Cody says, again, Christmas told Nicole that you told Christmas that I was voting to keep her because she's less of a threat. So when he hears it like that, Enzo is like, oh, maybe I did tell her. He did. Honestly though, like, do you guys think he forgot, or do you think he realized, oh crap, I'm in trouble here? So then Cody is laughing that Enzo definitely told Christmas about his vote, and he's like, I don't want to know if you told her or not. Like, I don't care. I don't want to know. I think he cares. But Cody says, Christmas has still not approached me about this week's vote. And Enzo says, I just want to get rid of her, man. But you guys want Memphis out this week. So Cody says, I'll get rid of her. Tell Nicole. But at this point, it seems like Cody is just full of piss and vinegar. Like, he's been in a bad mood the last few days. And I don't think he actually wants to I think he wants to get rid of Christmas, but he wants to get rid of Memphis more just because he's such a big competition threat and a game threat. But anyway, Enzo says, I don't trust Christmas, and he thinks that Christmas is going to try and team up with Nicole if she stays. So Cody is insisting, don't worry, like, Nicole is going to target Christmas next week 100%. Okay. So then Enzo says, look, I know you're tight with Nicole, but I don't think that she would take you to the final two. I feel like Nicole could totally win this whole thing if she cuts Cody at the last minute. I think that would be the game-winning move for her, but I don't know if she would do it. I don't know. So then Cody's like, maybe she'll take you to the final two. I mean, maybe. I don't know. At first, I was thinking, no freaking way. Like, Nicole is definitely going to take Cody, even if it means second place for her. But after seeing her diary room last night, when she was like, I'm going to do what I need to do, basically, maybe she would cut Cody. I don't know. So then Enzo continues to push that Memphis would take them to the final three if he wins the veto next week. But Cody's not buying it. He is not buying it. He doesn't feel good about the fact that Memphis was trying to get him on the block this week. And Cody says, Memphis told me that he won the Final Four POV on his original season. He's going. He's out of here. We're not keeping him. Oh. So then Enzo says, I think that it's meant to be for me and you to be together at the end no matter what. So, whatever we decide here, whatever, like, we're going to make it work. So then Cody is saying he would rather go up against Christmas in next week's competitions. And Enzo does agree, like, yes, I feel better about going up against her than I would against Memphis. So Enzo says we can't let Christmas win HOH or the power veto. We'll just get her out of here. So then Nicole joins them, and they kind of mess around with her a bunch and say, like, we're going to split the votes, and then you can decide what you want to do. They're not really going to do that, though. They're just, again, full of piss and vinegar, trying to mess with Nicole because they think it's funny. So then there was more talk about how or when they're going to tell Memphis that he's going. They mess with Nicole some more. Cody's acting like he actually wants Christmas out, but like Enzo actually does. So Enzo is making the case again, but they're like, no, Memphis has got to go. Nicole confirms she wants Memphis out, and Cody agrees. He says Christmas is annoying, but it is the smarter move to take out Memphis this week. So then Cody Big Talks is back again, saying that he wants to blindside Memphis with this vote, but Enzo wants to tell Memphis right before. So by the time this conversation concluded, it didn't seem like they really decided on what they were going to do exactly. I mean, they're going to vote out Memphis unless something crazy happens, but they didn't really decide if they're going to tell him or not. So we'll see what happens there. But everyone was hanging out the rest of the night, just chilling. They went to bed early. And then today, nothing exciting really happened this morning. And then the feeds went down. So there was no like last minute campaigning or anything like that from what I saw. So yeah, the feeds have been down pretty much all day. And unless there's an unexpected flip, Memphis should be going tonight 2-0. We'll see what happens. Do you think they're going to tell him before? I think they might tell him like right before. But I want to know from you guys, who do you want to win this next HOH competition? Honestly, I kind of want Christmas to win because then Cody, Nicole, and Enzo, one of them's going to be going and they're going to have to go up against each other. So I think that would be the most exciting option. Hello.
Hello.
So we'll see what happens there, but let me know what you guys think. Hello, sir. Oh. Okay, back up, baby. There you go. Wait for it to open,
All right.
and now you can come in. Oh.
No, he said, screw you.
Poor baby. He said, I'm over this. Forget it. All right. So I want to thank all of our super chatters for the support today. You guys are awesome. So we have Jody Cortez. Thank you so much. Candy. Thank you so much. Care Bear 22. Thank you so much. Lisa Grimes. Twice. Thank you so much. And she has a question. Do you think they'll tell Memphis? That's a great question. I think they'll tell him right before, probably. I mean, I would love to see a blind side, but I think they're going to tell him.
Do you think they'll require him to wear a diaper first?
Maybe. I don't know. I think he's going to be kind of pissed because he thinks he's got his boys backing him up, and he's got like he's got final 2 deals with Enzo and Cody, not to mention the Wise Guys final 3. So I think he's going to be upset.
To go against Christmas?
He's been feeling comfortable all week. I think there is a thought maybe just in the back of his head that it could be a Tyler situation where, yes, they're close with him, but you just got to take him out when he's up on the block, right? So there might be a small little
I think they'll tell him.
feeling, and then he'll be like, oh, right. So we'll see. S. Dean, thank you so much. Dawn MH302, thank you so much. And Night of Light Official, thank you so much. You guys are all awesome. Yeah, that's where we're at. Should be interesting tonight.
I hope so.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying tonight's HOH will be What the Bleep. I'd be into that. I love What the Bleep. It always makes me laugh every time. It's just so good. Like, the bleeps are so well placed.
They really are.
I do miss the face warp competition or face morph, whatever. Either way, I do miss that competition because I think it's a lot of fun. But
well, you got a whole bag of tortillas to practice.
You love that. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go because we got a show tonight, right? So go do your stuff before the show so we can all enjoy later. And we'll see you guys later for the episode chat. So I'll see you all then. And until next time, much love.